Right, Holcomb here, Punch Out Boxing. Delighted to be here with my friend Jon Trethewey. It's fight week, believe it or not, even though he's sunning himself somewhere in the Canaries, I believe. How are you, Jon?
I'm good, mate. Always good to see you. Yeah, nice to catch up.
I hope you're going to get back on time for fight night.
Yeah, come away for a couple of days, which is nice. Just came away yesterday, which was Sunday, and we come back Wednesday. So full steam ahead Thursday, picking up on any loose ends with fight night, and then Friday, Saturday we got weigh in and obviously collect money and then go for it.
Fab. Well, I'm sure Mark Neilson is hard at work whilst you're enjoying yourself for these few days. So yeah, Saturday you're back at York Hall. Winner stays on is how this card's being built. Yeah, it's a couple of bangers headlining. I'm going to start with the first one. Alfie Gaskin against Morgan Selamuthu. Couple of boys I've seen on various small hall shows. They're going for their first title.
Yeah, so that's a Commonwealth Youth. It's a good fight as well. I don't know much about Morgan, if I'm honest. It was initially on a WBM show, and then that show got pulled, so it got transferred over to ours. We know Alfie very well. I've never had the privilege myself of having Alfie on my show. He's been on Mark's before. Probably more down to the fact he's signed with Warren Management as a fighter, but he's trained by Martin in the Peacock, who we're obviously close with. So it's nice to actually get him on. It looks like a great fight. Both lads have done a few tickets, and this will be one of the top fights of the night for sure. So I'm sure Alfie will come through. We don't like to pick favourites in the 50-50s, but we know that team, and just because I don't know Morgan so much, but his trainer and his manager I know really well. They're good guys as well, so we just hope for a good fight.
Yeah, fab. And that title is at super middleweight, isn't it?
Yeah, Commonwealth Youth.
Yeah, and super middleweight's domestically becoming quite the hot division, isn't it? I don't know if you saw the GBM tournament over the weekend. Yeah, some interesting fighters. Yeah,
I did see it. It was a great concept, and it was a great win for James Osborne, which is nice. Again, we know him quite well. We've never had him on the shows, but I know him on the circuit. See him quite a lot down at gym training. It was nice to see him a win on a big platform like that. Good luck to him.
yes, indeed. And yeah, I mean, the winner of that they'll be looking, I guess, to sort of move in against that sort of caliber of opponent in 2026.
Yeah, when you look at the rankings, I think I was at a box rank yesterday for a few hours, just doing a few bits. You know, it's like when you're matching and thinking of future stuff next year and that. And James is ranked quite high now, so you know it's great for him to win something like that. It's a good platform. It's with GBM. It's on the zone, and now he should be banging on the door to people hiding him and getting the payday that he deserves. And let's see where he goes. Fair play with him because I wouldn't say that because he might come and punch me, but I think he's done really well. I really do, and he's a guy, and he deserves all the flowers that he gets. To be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, and the other big fight that has been announced, Billy Allington, a mainstay. He's got that fight with Bradley Townsend. Believe it, is it another eliminator for the British title?
Yeah, it's a British eliminator, which is good for us. We've not had one of them before, so it's nice to have one. Billy Allington, definitely another one of them fighters where I'd say he's excelled to where he's got to. He's fought for a British title before and he got beat by Dalton Smith, which everybody else gets beat. I've said it before in other interviews. On that night, he made Dalton look quite ordinary. I mean, Dalton won the fight fair and square, but Dalton normally looks a lot better or more explosive. And Billy, the best version of Billy is always brilliant. The worst version of Billy isn't as good, sadly. But we expect Billy to go out there. He won the English title with us. He's won the Southern area before. Billy's a great fighter. When we put it to the board to get signed off, they had no problem signing it off for a British eliminator because who Billy's been beaten by, they're elite fighters or very, very good fighters. Even Jake Henty, last time he was out, which was our show at the O2. You know, Jake's a great fighter. I think he's 10-0, and Jake will probably progress as well. So this is Billy's big chance. He's up against Bradley Townsend, who I don't know as well, but I've been dealing with him on this fight, and I'd say what a really nice guy to deal with. Bradley's 17-0, so on paper it looks a bit of a mismatch, but I'm not sure he's fought the level of opponent that Billy has. Well, in fact, he hasn't. So it's a big step up for Bradley. But they've got to take that to get that eliminator. And if they beat them, then they'll obviously be hoping that they get on a big TV show fighting for the full British title. So I expect this to be a very good fight. Who wins it? Not so sure. Only mainly because I don't know Bradley that well. So let's wait and see.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I haven't seen Bradley myself. racked up a decent record, but as you said, I think he's won 10 rounder. He went over to Ghana to fight, so we don't really know what level he's at. But sometimes he's when people do step up, they do show that they've got it in them. But yeah, the winner of that could potentially get Rafferty.
Yeah, I think that's why they're in it, right? Like Billy, it's not a last throw as such for Billy, but maybe let's see where we're at. And for Bradley, like you say, he's never fought at this level. He might steamroller Billy for all we know, and he might actually be ready and more for people like Jack Rafferty. So I'm looking forward to a good fight there. Very good fight for us.
Yeah, indeed. Uh, so tell us about some of the other fighters on there. I believe Zoe Hunt Smith is on it. Unusual. She's talented, clearly only been beaten by a couple of really good girls. Um, so yeah, but not really managed to get that momentum going in her career.
Yeah, we had her once before. I think she is talented. I think she's at welterweight, so there aren't many females around that weight. I actually had a phone call yesterday from someone asking me if they want to put her in a title fight, assuming she's my fighter, which she's not, because obviously we don't promote her, we don't manage her, we just promote her. So we'll reach out to her team there and say that we've had that call. But I think she probably would win this other one that's being asked, which is Commonwealth, maybe 2 weeks later. So whether they want to go that quickly, I don't know. Let's get her through this one first and then see where she's at. But no, she's good talent for sure.
Hmm. As you said, at welterweight, not many girls, so one or two good wins, you could suddenly find yourself in a title fight. So, yeah, Boxrec hasn't listed the full card. Who else is going to appear on your show?
Well, we got James Branch back. James Branch, what is he, 9-0? I think all fights were with Frank Warren. He retired, inverted commas, like they do, and they come back. But that was about 4 or 5 years ago, before I was even really in the sport, to be fair. He was one of the first people I ever met when I started doing your job about 5 years ago. Special talent, very, very good fighter, and he's back. He's the only one not matched at the moment because he's a nightmare to match because he's very, very good. I think he's only got 2 knockouts out of the 9. He's a cruiserweight. He's with Simon Legg now, and he's a very good talent. So we expect a good performance, but we're not sure who he's fighting yet. You've got Nathan Barrett on it as well. He's out at the Peacock Gym. He had his debut with us 2 months ago. Very, very good talent. I've said this before. Him and his brother Jamie, they're two very, very talented kids who I think could go a very long way. Jamie's yet to make his debut. He's a couple of years younger, but Nathan, he won his first fight 1-0. Just a nice routine performance, but let's expect something impressive from him. Got Blake Binskin on debut. I've got to give him a shout. I think he's done a truckload of tickets. So we're looking forward to that. He's out the Peacock as well. We've also got Zion Sadiq. He's a Slough boy, so I've got to say that I've not met him yet, but the tickets he's sold, I'm quite excited. And fair play to him because he's from Slough and Adam Azim's from Slough, and Adam Azim's fighting on the same night at Tottenham on the Ben Eubank undercard next week. So he's still managed to sell an absolute bundle of tickets. In fact, if he carries on really well this week, he'll probably do as many as anyone's ever done for us. So we're expecting a busy night. There's a lot of talent on there. I've got Sonny Hardy out. Sonny's our guy. Sonny's what, 9-0 now, and he'll have a nice win here, hopefully, and then we move him on to titles in the new year. There's so many exciting things happening around that division, super featherweight, lightweight. There's so many good fights to make the fighters we've got. So that should be a good show, actually, Saturday night.
Yeah, sounds exciting. Yeah, I wanted to touch on Sonny, because of course last time he had that 50-50 against another prospect and showed he's got so many more tools in his bag than he'd shown. So yeah, I guess this is just a keep busy fight. But as you said, starting from next year, you're gonna take him on, take the leash off of Sonny.
Yeah, you can't not after next year. I think he just had a really good fight against Ellison Sushi and stopped him. And Ellison Sushi would have given him some challenges that he hadn't had before. Definitely, if you haven't watched the fight, anyone who's listening, watch it because he did give him a challenge. But he stopped him, and that's what he was meant to do. Now this he'll have a good fight Saturday, but then next year I think it's a case now of like where do we go next because he's a good talent, Sonny, and I think he's ready to unleash him. To be fair.
Yeah, fantastic. But tell us what was the logistics of getting this over the line this weekend? Because I know there was a date change a couple of times, wasn't there?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's been very different this weekend. So we had the Saturday booked, the 15th. Then we heard that the Eubank Ben fight was the same night, which is never going to be ideal for us because we're the small fish there, and they're both in London, and every man and his dog want to watch either on TV or at the Tottenham Stadium. That fight, so it would always been a challenge for us on tickets, whoever you've got on, because boxing's boxing, right? Um, we then changed the date when we got the date given for the Friday instead, because it just made sense. There was a little bit of confusion on a double booking that the weigh-in for the Ben Eubank is now at York Hall on the Friday instead. We couldn't do the evening because of their setup in the day, so it just was logistically quite hard work. So there was a bit of negotiations back and forth in the Matchroom because both of us have been booked in. And York Hall, to be fair to them, they're very loyal to us. We'd probably give them more business than anyone, so they weren't just going to say you've got to do this, even though it is a bigger show. So the agreement was made with Matchroom, and they were really good to work with and negotiate. So the weigh-in for Ben Eubanks on a Friday, we're back on the Saturday. I think they're giving us maybe a little bit of their production and stuff like that as well. So probably make the show look a bit better as part of the negotiation. But no, we go up against them on fight night. It's still live on TalkSPORT, seconds out, etc. So we still got good platforms to watch it. But we do expect most people to watch that other show, which is going to be a great fight again, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it's worth emphasising your show is going to be free to air on TalkSport seconds out because there is quite the backlash amongst fans against DAZN and their constant bait and switch tactics around their pricing scheme. So the fans who want to watch things for free, come to John
Yeah,
and TalkSport.
we've also staggered it. We'll probably start a little bit earlier than normal so that those who want to watch that fight, whether it's at home or whatever, you can still go and watch that headline fight and then watch ours for free. But I suppose if you paid for it, they've got a great undercard as well. But maybe flick between the two. I'm sure there'll be the odd boring fight on that one. Come and watch ours because we don't have boring fights. They might not be as big a names, but we'll have a great card. And I'm looking forward to it, sadly. It's just a shame we are up against them because I think it might affect viewing figures on our platforms, but that's totally understandable. It won't be the first time, and it certainly won't be the last time that we're up against a big show, and we carry on doing what we do.
Absolutely, and can't underestimate the importance of it. As we mentioned, some of those fighters will graduate onto the big time. Just on the bigger show though, just got to get your views on it. Of course, the headliner for purists, it don't really mean much, but yeah, I mean, how do you see that one going?
I see it going the same way. I mean, we had an issue with the weight the first time. I think it was still made at the same weight, is it not? So I think as Chris gets older, it's harder to make the weight. We all know that. When I used to have a pie 10 years ago, I could lose it a bit quicker than what I can now. That's just called age. So the weight may play a factor again. I felt the first fight, I had it pretty much exactly how they scored it. People who are experts in the sport going, oh, the score was a joke. Was it 116, 112? Saying it. And then when I try and explain to people that the swinging rounds and then they get it, it probably was spot on. I think it'll be the same again. No disrespect to Connor. He's been fantastic for the sport. I think that Chris is a better boxer. He's naturally bigger. And what played through in the first fight should be this one. But boxing's boxing, and I like Ben's style. He'll come forward, he'll have a go, he'll try and land. But I expect it to go the same way.
Oh, interesting. I'm probably one of the few that thinks Ben will turn it round this time. As you said, that for me, I think it's the age factor. I think at 36, another extreme weight cut might cost Chris, but we shall see. Just want to ask you about a few of the fights on the undercard. Sam Gilly, the man that you introduced to me that first night on the job where you launched my media career. It was Sam Gilly, the first guy I interviewed. Finally got his dream, British title fight, but he's a hard fight against Ishmael Davis. Can Sam do it?
Yeah, I remember being with you when you did that first interview. I'm sure we were in Hoddesdon or somewhere at one of the gyms. Yeah, I expect Sam to do it, but I'm biased. Sam's a friend of ours. He's commentated for us. We've known him a while. His gym, we work with all his other fighters. They all fight for us. And Sam's a good lad. I saw him last week. He was training for it. He was sparring a week ago with Denzel down at Peacock. Ishmael Davis is good, though. I'll be honest, we have a box rec predictor. I don't think you can only get it if you're a license holder with a board. So someone like yourself, no disrespect, I don't think you can click on and do it. But it is a predictor, which, listen, that's what it is. But it predicted that Ishmael Davis was like a 57% favourite against I think it was 40% and 3% the draw. That surprised me because I think that Sam does win it. But Ismail Davies is a good fighter. It's a very good scrap. And that's why they're in it. Like, you're on a card like that, you've got to take the tough fights. So, but we wish Sam all the best, and hopefully he comes through.
Yes, indeed. And another fighter, as he mentioned, Adam Azim, has been touted as a bit of a golden boy, future star of the sport. Late replacement, Kurt Scobie, 16 knockouts in 18 wins. So if there was any question marks about Adam's punch resistance, this could be the night to answer them.
Yeah, listen, Adam's our guy as well. I think I did his first ever interview in the YouTube world. He was like 17, 18 at the time. And I went down his gym in Slough where he was next to his house, and he was on the punch bag and stuff. Oh, and pads and punch bags, a pads and punch bag. They don't hit back, but you could tell from an early age, his hand speed, his footwork, his movement. He was an exceptional talent. I walked out that gym on that day and said he'll be a future world champion. And I still stand by that. Funnily enough, I went on that box rec predictor last night, just out of interest to see what it said for Adam against Dalton. And it backs Adam as a 55% favourite to beat Dalton. I do think Adam is a top talent. We expect him to come through. I think he's fighting American. As you say, looks very good on paper. I haven't seen many question marks on Adam. I'll be honest, whether punch resistance, as you say, I'm not sure he's been tested and taken to the mill yet. And that will happen at some stage. Maybe it's this week, maybe it's the next one, maybe it's when he fights Dalton, which might be the next one. But we're fully behind him. And again, he's a Slough boy, right? Which is where I'm from. So I have to back him. And if we have a world champion from Slough, we'll be very happy. So it'd be nice to see him back out and get that win. And then hopefully in the new year, it probably will be him and Dalton, hopefully for a version of the world title.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I didn't know Slough. You've got links to Slough. I always thought you were a Buckinghamshire lad.
Now, I'm from Slough originally. I lived there till I was about 25. And as you can tell now, I'm a couple of years older than that. So the last 20 odd years, I've moved away from Slough. But yeah, born and bred in Slough. So it's always great to see fighters from there do well.
Yeah, surprisingly a good crop of talent coming out of that illustrious town.
Yeah, there is recently, certainly the brothers, Azim brothers for sure. And then, as I said, I've got this lad that's on. I mentioned him this Saturday. Yeah, be nice to see someone do really well from there.
Absolutely. All right, John, fascinating as ever. Like I said, remind the fans they can view that for free if they can't get down to York Hall. And yeah, enjoy the last few days in the sun, and make sure you get home safe to your own show.
Will do, mate. Thank you, and I'll see you Saturday.